I'm back. Who missed me? Huh?
It's too bad Larry's editing. Otherwise, if I was editing, I'd put in like the cricket sound right there. That would have been fun. Ah well, Larry, put him in for self-deprecating humor's sake, huh?
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, friends.
Welcome back, buddy.
Yeah.
No,
Hi,
no,
everybody.
no,
Welcome.
seriously. I refuse to be seriously on this podcast.
That's probably the better approach. Hi, my name is Larry Freed.
Oh, my name is Sean Capdeville. Why are we doing last names?
I don't know. Just go with it.
Capdeville.
And my name is Max Mariner.
And welcome back to Rule Thirds, the only film culture podcast on RuleThirds.com, but simultaneously the best one.
Yeah, but also kind of the worst.
Rule Thirds, the We Are Your Friends of podcasts.
Oh,
Sure.
topical.
That's actually not our. It's timely. It's not our topic per se.
That's
that's
not what topical means. Oh god.
Okay, whatever. So, hi, I'm back. Nice to be back on the podcast. Awesome. How are you guys doing?
Good. I'm back on my campus in my comfortable chair. Life is good. Yeah.
And Max?
I'm back as well. It feels good. I'm in my first ever apartment on my own. It's great. Got a great roommate. Great setup. It's good. I'm very much into games right now because Metal Gear Solid 5 will be out by the time this podcast is up, and Super Mario Maker will be out a week and a half after this podcast goes up, and I'm excited for both things. So I'm in a very gamey mood right now, and you guys, it's your job to bring me back to movies.
All right, well, we will try doing our job.
There are a lot of movies worth being excited for coming up, so I don't think that will be hard.
We are entering Oscar season.
Well, now it's kind of...
Including the Oscar darling, Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Hey, you don't know. Maybe.
It could probably win. It could probably win some Oscars.
I'm not saying that sarcastically or, like, directly. Like, they could be either.
Yeah,
guys, we're so close to that movie.
I know,
but we're not so close yet so far.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's coming up.
Here, you know what? My answer every time you're gonna ask how I am, I'm gonna say bad because I haven't seen Force Awakens. From here on out, that's probably gonna be my answer. I'm excited.
Oh well. All right. Well, well. When it comes out, then you'll be happy. So that'll be good. Anyway, so before we get started with the episode, it's a good topic. We're going to just address quickly a couple things. One, sorry for no episode last week. Our schedules were pretty busy. We will explain. Yeah, we will explain why in just a bit. But yeah, sorry about that. Second, although we usually do Fantasy Movie League at the end, we're just going to address it right now in the beginning because Sean won last week.
Yay,
good job, Sean.
But I didn't have a podcast to gloat,
clap.
so that's a bummer.
Oh well. Well, golf clap for you.
Golf clap.
And the reason we're just addressing this in the beginning is because we're not really going to go in detail. But the good news is for those of you who are ready to get in on the game, like right at the beginning, Fantasy Movie League is restarting with its fall season this upcoming week. So if you want to be on par with us as far as the seasonal tallies are concerned, this is the time. So we're the Rule Thirds League. The password is cinemattack. That's cinema TTACK. Of course, there is always the weekly battle, but the seasonal battles is just it's a lot more interesting, just because of how the time goes on and how the money accumulates. So we'd love to have you on board. And then Sean, I'm going to pass it over to Sean, and we're going to do the community segment.
Yes, community segment time. Well, we've got Whitley and Seth, our dear friends Whitley and Seth. We'll start with Whitley. Whitley. He says, Colin Trevorrow on episode 9 can't be as tone deaf as casting Tilda Swinton to play an Asian character, Doctor Strange. And I guess my response is that that's not really what we meant by tone deaf. And also, she's not playing an Asian character because she's not Asian. She's just playing a character that is Asian in the comics, so... Anyway.
I do think that maybe the whole whitewashing thing is a bit uncalled for. I don't know
why. I know, but at the same time, Tilda Swinton's so great. It's kind of,
I'm just going to respond with, it can't be as tone deaf. I mean, not tone deaf. It can't be as whitewashed as Pan, where Rooney Mara, great actress, plays a Native American.
That's the issue where the character stays ethnicity, but actor's not ethnicity. Anyway, he says, excited for Incredibles 2, even though there was a video game sequel to the original. Impartial to Toy Story 4. No feelings for Cars 3. Excited to see another Disney princess of a different ethnicity in, I think it's Moana. Is that how it's pronounced?
Yes, Moana.
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct.
I heard it was Mona.
That sounds weird to me.
There's an A right in the middle.
Well, to be fair, Moan
is with an A at the end. So
well, that's kind of weird.
I don't. For me, it sounds like Moana. Anyway, doesn't matter. And then Pete's Dragon. Wait, hold on. It says, and Pete's Dragon saved Don Bluth's anime, and the dragon is nothing special. Did we talk about Pete's Dragon? Oh, right. They're upcoming doing another one, and we didn't have any thoughts on the original. So there you go. Whitley doesn't think it's
Pete's Dragon. I like Pete's Dragon, Whitley. I think that's a fun film.
Okay, we got Seth. Right. He says, if any of us have an account on Celtics, it's free. I do have Celtics. That's what I used to write. He can share a draft with his screenplay, so I might take you up on that offer, Seth. I'd like to read it.
Final draft.
He's going to... Celtics is free, so...
Final Draft is also free to college students. That actually just started this year, so that's pretty cool.
Ooh, I learned something. I'll look into that, actually. I'm not really that intense on Celtics, so I might jump ship. Sorry. This episode brought to you by Celtics. Not anymore, actually.
I don't even know what that is. Go on.
It's a script writing software.
You will.
That's interesting. Finally. I've been looking for like a template to write screenplays, like the actual format.
Right, and it says, I'm going back to classes on Monday too, so that's actually when we're recording. So the day we're recording, you're back on classes. And they canceled all of his classes.
Today is my last day of school.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm excited.
Well, for you guys.
Anyway. Let's see. Okay. He wants Deadpool and Kingdom Hearts 3. And, yeah, I know. Deadpool's a little, overplayed. Also, Deadpool is not...
So is Kingdom Hearts, to be honest.
Oh.
Sorry.
So much, I don't taking shots from Max today. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
And he says that he is watching more movies now, so huzzah. And then we have one more comment.
Excellent.
Really quick, from the Fantasy Movie League page, which is a weird place to be leaving comments, but hey, it works. I just have to remember to look, so that's on me. It's from Gatlin. And we asked how Gatlin found us, because we're nothing. We're nobody. And they responded...
Yeah, we're nothing.
Yeah. It said they were looking for a Sponge Out of Water review, and they found ours and got hooked. So imagine that. Someone listened to this garbage and got hooked. Huzzah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
I'm glad
Sean.
you're here, Gavin. I'm glad you're here.
Yes,
welcome
we
aboard.
We have one, just normal fan, not carried over from a previous website, not my mom. We have, just someone who found us and likes us, so that's really cool.
Is that all?
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Sean, for the community segment. Remember, we are all over social media. It's in the description if you're interested. And then the last thing we're going to address actually works into our topic for today. Yes. I'm in college now. Yeah. And this is the first episode of Rule Thirds where all of us are currently college students as we are recording.
And we're all physically on campus and all that good stuff.
Yes. I am on campus, and I'm
recording
enjoying
live
myself.
From our rooms.
Yeah.
Except we're not recording live.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're not.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's very interesting. Now there's an interesting dynamic that's going to start coming up within this little circle. It'll be interesting how the conversations go now that we're all going to have college stories at some point. And I am, as you should probably have guessed, I'm majoring in digital filmmaking. Just like these.
Well, I think I'm just film. There's no digital.
Well, I mean, digital filmmaking is just a fancier name for it. It's pretty much just
I would focus in film production. I don't know if it's exclusive to digital, because it's usually not. We have regular film cameras. I don't know.
Well, I mean, their cinema studies is a minor, so I guess that's more of the critical side of it. Film is just everything from screenwriting to directing to all of it. And so today's topic is film school. Just Max and Sean can share a couple of good stories for my sake. We can all talk about, why it's here, why it's important, give our opinions on its value, and then I can, of course, just talk about what I'm expecting.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're just going to have a chill little welcome back to Rule Thirds discussion, end of the summer, beginning of fall. It's going to be nice. So, let us begin with you guys. So, you got any, let me hear it. What do you got?
What grand words of wisdom?
Yeah.
Well, Sean, tell me, how does your film school function exactly? Let's start with there. What are the differences between our two colleges?
Yeah. That is actually a good spot. So my film school is a separate entity of Montana State University. It's called the School of Film and Photography, or SFP. It's a full-fledged film school, meaning I will be getting a Bachelor of Arts in film. It's not just a major in film studies. It is a separate degree. And it's basically set up to have two types of classes, academic and production. And I've been in both. The academic side is going to be stuff like film history or genre studies, or more fun is like company studies or director studies. So I've done a Tarantino class, I've done a Disney class, and I've done like film history in Europe during the 30s to 60s. That one was really hard. And so that's the academic side. And then there's the production side, where we have stuff like cinematography. You have stuff like editing, directing. I took an acting class, and I was totally subpar. It was fun. Stuff like that, where you kind of learn physically how to make films and the physical techniques. And it's really split between those two. And it's kind of up to you which one to do. But the idea why MSU is kind of well regarded is because the idea is that everyone who comes out is kind of jack of all trades. So we have the opportunity to take all the classes. We can do some advanced stuff last year if we want, but pretty much we come out knowing how to do everything pretty well. That's kind of the basic idea. So we're well prepared for whatever job we get. That's kind of what my film school's like. So yeah, that's a pretty good. You know what? I should be getting paid. That was a pretty good pitch. Am I? Is that it's a pretty good pitch.
That's pretty good. It's actually that's kind of similar to mine.
Well, let's let Max go, and then you can go.
Okay, right. Sorry, Max, please.
We'll wrap back to the host.
Yeah. I go to a small arts college in Santa Fe, New Mexico, the Santa Fe University of Art and Design. And if this is the only time you literally ever hear about this college, that's a normal thing. This is not a big deal of a college. But I go to the film school there. I'm pursuing a Bachelor of Fine Arts with an emphasis in production. More like, and my own focus is on directing because I'm a director. And I've been to many classes. I go to both a lot of screening classes and a lot of like production lab classes, and both of them are very much like focused in the very kind of like underground movement of cinema. It's a little bit less focused on like mainstream stuff, which is what you would find at like Chapman or UCLA or NYU. It's a little bit more focused on underground cinema that you don't usually see at your local movie theater. But overall, it's still like a great experience, and I'm learning a lot. And today is my first day of school, and my first day is at a freaking screenwriting class. So
you're in screenwriting
that's
too?
That's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Okay, I'm in a screenwriting. How long? Like, do you have a big project over the course of the semester?
Yeah.
How long is it?
Well, it's like gotta be like I think 100 pages by the end.
You're gonna have to write 100 pages in a semester.
I think so. Yeah.
That's gonna be garbage. You can't write that much. Wow.
Well, and no, it's not. It's not like a full feature. It's like 15 pages of like either new drafts or
then yeah, cool.
Or like character bios, research, stuff like that. I don't know what's okay to mention. I don't know if it's like confidential or whatever, but like, that's what I was doing today.
Okay, so basically what I'm saying, what I'm leading to is I'm doing a 10 to 15 minute script throughout the semester. We should totally give notes to each other's scripts as we go along. That'd be fun.
Yep.
So anyway, sorry to interrupt. Oh, yeah, your little chuckle of vengeance. My scripts are bulletproof, Max, and you know it. You won't have nothing. You'll be weeping at the beauty that is my writing.
Okay,
just
Sean,
get ready.
Whatever you say, man.
Just
I've actually never read any of your scripts.
Yeah, I could send you a really crappy abridged
I read that one, though. Didn't you send me?
I can... From me or from Max?
I can't remember.
Oh, well, anyway.
Okay, you have to send me some work. You guys got to send me some work.
Film school student territory. Let's not alienate our wonderful listeners.
Okay, well, send me some stuff. I'd love to read it. Mine more centers towards where Sean is at. My art school, which is entitled the Mason Gross School of the Arts, is an art school that is one of the schools within Rutgers University, New Brunswick, which is a larger research college. And the art school is divided into different majors. And, so there's dance, there's theater, there's music. And so this year is the first year in which the filmmaking program actually has a degree. I'm going to get a BFA in digital filmmaking, Bachelor of Fine Arts, for those who don't know. And then the program, after your 2 years, as I hear from orientation today, it pretty much splits into either documentary filmmaking or fiction filmmaking. And
I'm going to guess you want to go fiction?
Yeah, I'm going to aim more towards fiction. But my first course tomorrow is Intro to Documentary. So I don't know. Maybe if it hooks me, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. And it's a brand new program. There used to be a film certificate program, which was a 22 credit thing that non-majors would take. But because that got so popular, they finally decided to work on a BFA. So I am essentially, as my dean says, the pioneer of this program, which is a very interesting opportunity.
You know, they say pioneer. You're probably going to be more like the guinea pig.
Yeah,
because they got to work out the kinks of their new school.
I'm actually in the same area wherein in my sophomore year, the BFA program was introduced to my film school. So we're also in that same camp to an extent.
Huh.
Yeah, not as centered, because we had people last year getting BFAs, next year, and it was all over the place.
Yeah, you can just tell from some of the staff that they're talking to. They're still very new at this, and they're still working out some things. But there's a lot of interesting stuff. The director of the program, I don't know if you probably never heard of him. His name's Nicholas Pereda. He's a director. He won whatever Best in Show is equivalent to. He won Best in Show at the Venice Film Festival. 1 year.
Judges selection?
I believe so. And that makes me very excited to learn. He's teaching the intro to documentary course tomorrow, which should be very interesting. But anyway, so now that we kind of know what schools we're at, I'll just give you a quick idea of what's happening with my first year. Nothing too crazy. It's a lot of intro to film stuff.
Yep.
I already looked at the syllabus for the year. Interesting stuff. We're doing some Citizen Kane, a little bit of Hitchcock with Rear Window and Strangers on a Train, a couple of French films too. I don't exactly know.
Impressionist?
I don't know exactly. I have to look at the syllabus.
That's
I actually have the
genre
syllabus.
That's the French genre I know.
Well, I mean, I could just pull it up.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. So that's a lot of the things. The more in-depth like screenwriting classes are going to be happening in the second year, because that's when you finally have all this sort of prerequisite stuff they got going on. I do have a cinematography class, so that'll be interesting. And they give you a T3i to all students.
What's a T3i?
Canon Rebel EOS T3i. It's a Canon camera DSLR.
Oh, it's a DSLR. Okay.
Yeah, it's funny because I actually have a personal T5i, so that's a very interesting little thing there. I thought they would be having something more camcorder based. But,
yeah, that's what I had to use the first year.
Yeah, but apparently no, DSLR. And it comes with some sound equipment and some tripods you can borrow from the area.
Cool.
So yeah, that's pretty much where I am right now. Classes start tomorrow. Yeah, I haven't just also if you want to feel pity for me, I have an 8:10 writing course. 8:10 a.m. writing course.
Yeah, I've had 8 o'clock classes that are more intense than a writing class.
Well, I mean, it's expository writing is what they call it. It's like you pretty much can't take an English course in the department without taking that course, and you can't graduate the university without taking that course.
Yeah.
Now, Larry, let me ask you: do you have to take math classes, like science classes?
There is no math requirement to graduate,
Nice.
which is very nice. But there is a liberal arts requirement. 33 credits of liberal arts.
Me too. I think same thing with me.
Yeah, which varies all over the place. You can take humanities course, or you can take qualitative skills, which is more math-based, statistics-based, or you could do a language. Like, I consider doing Greek or Latin or learning that
Latin's
language.
fun. I took 2 years of Latin in high school.
Yeah.
So I basically took a week of Latin in college.
That's pretty cool.
It was a joke, anyway.
Yeah, I got you. I decided to take psychology. So I'm doing so I have one psychology course I'm taking as just my 1 credit of liberal arts.
And Larry, how does that make you feel? Your psychology class has it.
You're so funny. You're so funny.
It's funny.
I also had a psychology course my first semester.
Well, here's what's funny. I signed up for a psychology course my first semester, or planned to, and then it just didn't fit. So I'm like, I can take it later. Here I am, senior year. It still has not fit in my schedule. So I still have not taken intro to psychology. It's so weird.
Yeah. A lot of freshmen take general psychology, as I've learned. I already have 5 friends who I've already met who are all with me in the class. So it should be fun. And then there's another liberal arts class called Gender, Race, Class, and Media.
Nice.
I have no idea what to expect, but that is a forced liberal arts class. You have to take that. It's part of the filmmaking degree, so it just pretty much fills one of those 33 credits. And it's a strange balance. I don't really know what kind of liberal arts classes I should be looking into. I mean, obviously, I'm doing a little bit of psychology, maybe dip into Greek and Latin, but
well, you should look into the ones that interest you.
Well, right, but I mean, the list is just so bloated, and a lot of them are sciences, and I'm not really into that.
Yeah.
And then a lot of them are like research and statistics, which is math, and I don't know, maybe one statistics course, because I do have to take a qualitative skills course. It's required as part of those 33 credits. But I don't know. I'm kind of I kind of want that film. I just want the film classes to start.
Trust me, that's a common struggle for me too. Like, this is the first year where I'm going to take all film classes both semesters. It's I've always had to take liberal arts courses as well, and that's not happening this year. That's one of the benefits of being a senior, is that you're all done with those stupid requirements outside of the film school. So you just go into film school all day, every day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is why
all my classes are film this semester, except bowling. But
What?
yeah, I
Bowling?
got a bowling class. It's the third time I've
You
taken
have
it.
a bowling class?
Yeah,
That's
it's awesome.
funny.
It
That's
took
cool.
us 21 minutes to get to this point where you're talking about a bowling
I
class?
took it a year ago as well. You'd think it would have come up then. I'm sure I've mentioned
Yeah.
Are you
it.
now in advanced bowling?
No, I'm still pretty bad. You just go in and
Did
bowl.
you not?
It's
Did you
fun.
fail the bowling course? Do you have
No.
to do it again?
No,
is
you
there
just-
a requirement?
No, you
Is
just.
there another course in squash? I mean, seriously.
Actually, there is. There's it's
Oh my
racquetball,
God,
close
that's
to squash.
great.
That was supposed to be a joke, but okay.
That is
Look, I'm at a state
amazing.
university. They have tons of random classes. You two
There's tons.
are at smaller colleges that are like specialized. I'm at a state university, so I got
I'm
the
a
weird
state-
stuff like bowling and racquetball.
No, don't worry. I'm a state university also.
Rutgers
There's plenty
is
of
state.
Yep, State University of New Jersey.
Oh, now I know.
Yeah, there's like where you sort of have the whole classes deal. It's for us in clubs.
Oh,
There is a
I'm sorry.
seeing eye dog rescue club.
How do I sign up? How do I sign
Props
up?
to those guys.
There's also
Larry?
actually, as far as
Larry,
I don't
how do I
know.
sign
I
up?
don't know. I don't know. You can do I don't know, something.
Well, I'm
And then,
transferring.
well, yeah, I guess so. There's actually, as far as classes go, I heard today there's a wine tasting class,
Awesome.
which should get plenty
Oh
of
my
freshmen
God.
involved.
Better not.
Yeah,
You guys are making my college feel so small because I'm like out of classes to take in my film school now.
Well,
and there's
so am
nothing
I.
outside of,
Actually,
like,
next
really
semester
interesting.
I need to.
Oh well, I have a set curriculum. As besides for electives, I have there's a list of classes you need to take per year.
Yeah.
But then there are also cinema electives. Although, strangely enough, there are some cinema studies. There's a cinema studies minor, and those classes don't fit into the filmmaking program for some odd reason. Despite the fact they're very film oriented, they're like it's like French stuff, like French film, experimental film, new wave.
Oof.
that's-
Experimental is rough. Not a
I
fan.
don't know. But there's no like. I wish there was some classes like Disney class, like you were saying. Or
Yeah,
like
I took a
Tarantino
Disney
class.
class. I had a
Yeah, I'm
Tarantino
kind of jealous too. I wish I had that.
And it was my favorite
I
professor
wish I had
taught.
that cliche.
Yeah, my favorite professor taught the Disney class. It was awesome.
What was it? What was the
Nice.
curriculum? What did you analyze?
How
Even.
it evolved, what like different parts of society he was responding to, like you
Oh,
know,
that sounds awesome.
like you know, why did he make these weird, like Latin America focused animated films that had
like the Three Caballeros?
right, and that had Mickey Mouse
Yeah.
characters when none of the previous features had that, and it was divided into segments. And we talked about the historical context of like the friendly neighbor policy. It's something neighbor policy where we were trying to be besties with our neighbors to the south because we were worried about them revolting against us. I can't remember what war it was during.
The Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man policy.
Yes,
Got it.
yes, that is exactly nail on the head. Boom, got it, Max. And so we learned about why the movies were focused in that region because we wanted to be like, hey, we're friends with you. It was kind of a weird, like, pandering type of thing.
Hey, South. We are your friends.
We are your friends. Congratulations, we are your friends. You've been mentioned 2 times in an hour. That's literally the first time that's happened.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sorry, we are your friends. Sorry.
For those who don't know, we're referring to a movie that had one of the worst openings ever for its category of theaters. So it's apparently no one
I
cared about
don't
Zac
understand
Efron's
why.
movie. It's because
Why
it's
would
like,
It wasn't really marketed that much.
I had
honestly.
No,
barely
I
heard
think it
of
was
it.
marketed tons.
No,
Like, it
I
was
barely
everywhere.
heard of it. I actually, you know what? I literally only heard about it from you.
The
That's
world,
it.
the closest thing I got to seeing some actual advertisement for it was a Snapchat geotag.
Awesome.
That's pretty much
That's what
I
the
don't
kids
know
are
what either of those
into.
words mean, but okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Guys, we've talked about this. Let's get into the nitty gritty here. let's talk about like what we've gotten out of film school.
All right, so how about you guys talk about what you've gotten out of it thus far, and then I'll say what I want to get.
Yes, good. Max, why don't you start? Because I'm yawning. Yeah.
Nice.
All this film school talk is making me tired too.
Well,
Sean. Let's see. So, let's see. How do I open this? Film school. My film school is very much focused on production. That's the thing that brought me into it. And though its promises may have been a little bit extravagant and were never truly fulfilled, though there are only like a few of those. Nothing too crazy. I've still managed to get so much experience on set because listen, theories are cool, but like they're never gonna replace actual production experience. I've managed to fill my resume up with tons of different titles: producer, boom microphone operator, director, like just all these different positions, and I've managed to like make myself feel kind of useful on set. I was even able to go and work on a Tina Fey movie that's scheduled for release next year that we might even review, honestly. Like, we might even do that. So, like, thanks to, the film school, I really love my film school. And because it's so focused on production, I can tell you why an LED kit is the most practical and best application for a lighting system in a room, as opposed to maybe, like, a soft lighting scheme using, like, old this and that. Like, I've learned a lot of that, and I've also learned a lot about like how people respond to certain ways and like to certain like approaches to criticism in any form, whether it's film, screenwriting, or whatever. And I've also learned that people can be very selective. Like it really is. Like you hear this all the time, but it really, truly, thoroughly is who you know that's going to get you far in this industry. So that's what I've gotten out of it, and I'm very glad I did it. I'm very glad I'm in film school.
Nice. It's good for you, buddy. You got on set. I'm hoping to get on set. The thing, before Sean, just really quick, I just want to mention, there's a film bureau thing that they do here. I don't really know much about it. It's just pretty much it's mostly documentary stuff. Like they'll go to countries and they'll like I think they went to Antarctica. Well, that's a continent, but they went to Antarctica and they did this documentary about like the ice caps. That whole situation that's been going on over there, and that's actually kind of interesting. That's pretty much your study abroad. It's a summer study abroad thing, but instead you'd actually be shooting a movie with professionals.
Nice.
So
okay, if I may, if you're going to go on set, I say we end this episode with a bunch of advice that I will give to you and that Sean will give to you in regards to working in film school. Is that cool?
Okay, yeah. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. All right. What about you, Sean?
Okay. Well, I don't have any grand statements.
Okay, that's
really
fine.
What I've gotten out of film school is basically I think I've just gotten better at general awareness, anything regarding film, really. Like,
oh crap! I didn't mention that. I'm still as dumb as I was when I opened film school.
What?
I'm still as dumb as I was the first day I came to film school.
Well,
crap! I forgot.
That's reassuring.
Yeah, but what I mean is, like, I haven't gained any massive skills. I'm better at pretty much everything. Because I've taken classes and everything, or had to do things in classes. Like I just started my editing class, but I've edited, a ton of projects in other classes, so I'm better at editing. And so it's basically just a bunch of classes that have incrementally helped. And there are some classes I'm interested in, sometimes I'm not. I've met some cool people. I like a lot of the professors. I've gotten more familiar with gear. I still am terrified of lighting. But I've got, like, sound is what scared me at the beginning, but I've gotten better at sound, though I still haven't taken a dedicated class. I don't know. That's the thing. It's kind of hard for me to summarize what I've gotten out of it. It's kind of just been helpful, and it's kind of been just kind of a backbone for my own, like, watching a ton of movies, and especially with you guys having to review them. I've gotten better at talking about movies, watching movies, writing, and by writing I mean thinking about any narrative story thing. I've gotten better, and the film school has been the backbone for that. I guess that's how I describe it. It's in the background. It's not the driving force in my understanding of cinema, but it is crucial and always present these past 3 years. So I'm grateful for that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Can I add a few things actually? Now that you've mentioned
it? Yeah. Go ahead.
I've also I've learned I learned a lot more about all the stuff. And I know, and thanks to film school, I now am confident in my ability to direct. I don't know if I can direct well. That's entirely up to you. But I think I know how to. And I'm really excited, and I'm always excited to do it. So thank you, film school, for making me feel like an actual director for the first time.
Well, can I add something?
Sure.
Thank you, film school, for showing me that I'm not a director. So now I'm not confident in my ability to direct at all, and I don't want to do it.
I am confident in my ability to successfully succeed as a director.
I can do editing. That's like what I've learned I'm really good at.
That's good.
That's a very good skill.
Right,
like,
I
I
was paying editors.
Right,
There's always a need for editors.
Like I was in my acting class, and I just edited a scene. We did a scene live. Like you had to memorize the scene, and you performed it in class, and then you had a filmed scene. And so you could kind of learn acting for camera and stuff. This was in my acting class. And I edited together our on-camera scene pretty quick. It's not like I was doing it carelessly, but I did it kind of quick, not night before, but it wasn't too long before it was due. And we only had basic angles anyway. It was nothing special. But I did plan out the cinematography, so it had a decent enough flow to it. But anyway, when I played it in class, the TA said that she couldn't have edited the scene better. I was like, I didn't even try. So, and it was funny that the comment wasn't the acting in the acting class; it was the editing. So I'm like, well, apparently I can do editing.
I should mention that actually one of my classes this semester, is an acting for directors class.
Oh, that's probably a really good idea.
Yeah, that's important. I've heard a lot of directors talk about like how it's important to know acting.
Yeah.
Also,
you cannot direct without knowing how to act a tiny bit. Now, that doesn't mean you have to act because you're director, Quentin. You don't have to act.
You also don't have to like really force terrible accents.
Quentin, if
Django.
you're listening.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He's a huge fan. He does Fantasy Movie League with us. Don't you guys know that?
Yeah, he's
secretly
Lang chick flicks are art. Yeah. That's Tarantino, right?
Yeah,
obviously.
That's secretly Tarantino. We've been lying to you this whole time.
Yep.
Tarantino, the most successful 12-year-old of all time.
Yep. I love that. Anyway,
that's a great phrase.
So what? This is good. I'm taking over hosting. My bad. Sorry, Larry. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
I was about to segue, and I realized you might not be done, and you might want to segue. So sorry.
You guys just gave. Is that the advice? Or are you guys kind of?
Well, no, that was just like what we got out of it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now you've been asking for some college stories.
Oh, okay.
Film
school stories. That was a good segue.
Before you do that, I'll just quickly say what I want to get out of it.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Just to sort of circle it.
Who cares about what you think? We want to keep talking about our films. Closely.
Yeah, gosh, Larry, we're so used to you not being here, Mac. Can Max and I just talk? I mean, right? We just talk. Anyway, go ahead.
This is my role, viewers.
Mm-hmm.
This is my role. I am the disposable middleman.
It is going to be a little awkward for a few episodes having 3 people again, but
yeah, a little awkward. But we'll get back into it soon. Essentially, for a long time, I liked film, and this podcast has really helped me, learn new ways in order of discussing it. But I never really knew what I wanted to do, like in it. I was like, I guess I could be an editor. I could be, sound, or I could do directing or writing or something.
Whatever.
Yeah. So for a while, I was just like, what am I gonna do? And it didn't help that in my school, I sort of gained a reputation for being the guy to do video stuff.
Yeah.
Me too. I was the same way.
Yeah, and people were telling me, "Oh yeah, I loved your project." He's like, "Thanks." He's like, "Why?" He's like, "Well."
Me too. I had the same thing.
It was funny. It was funny, and I'm like, okay, I want you can't. Yes. That's the thing about I love my friends, and they're great people, especially the new ones that I've made recently. But the problem is, you can't really get a solid critique about your project unless you're coming from a film school person or someone who does film or has a passion for it or understands it.
We'll get to that later in the advice part.
I guess. I mean, maybe an older person. Maybe my professors or my teachers. I've gotten some solid critiques. As far as my peers, who don't really do film, it's a little harder to get specific, straight on details. So I haven't really been. I mean, I've directed things before. I've written things before, and I've edited things before, and they've all gotten overall success. I mean, something that I directed and wrote and edited got me into film school. So. That was nice. 32 students out of hundreds of applications, as far as I hear. Mm-hmm. So that's cool.
My film school, it was 42 freshman year were accepted. So yeah.
Oh wow.
It's also limited.
It's really selective. Yeah. The art school is a 20% acceptance rate.
Oof.
That is ridiculous.
Well, congratulations on getting in.
Ah, well, thank you.
It's a little late, but whatever.
Yeah, you know.
I congratulated you when you announced
you congratulated me. You're off the hook. You're off the hook. So I'm here. One of the big reasons I'm here is I want to learn where I fit. I know that's really pretentious, but I
get that.
Yeah, I want to know what I want to do, and because I've done editing and I've directed before, but something about me that I don't know if you guys could probably tell about this, but I am very bad at letting go of creative control over my projects.
Oh, welcome.
I have a bad feeling.
Let's just pass this over and say yes, we do.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Let's
not air our grievances, okay?
You guys
want
know.
all of it. I want to edit. I want to be the cinematographer. I want to direct. I want to write. I want to produce it. I want like everything.
Oh well, here's the thing. I don't necessarily want to do all those things. I don't necessarily want to do all that or be responsible for it. I just want to make sure that people are doing what I want to get on the screen.
Right. Exactly.
That's the thing. But the problem is, and something I have to learn. I've heard a ton of directors talk about this. Filmmaking is a team effort. And a perfectionist attitude doesn't mesh so well. Even as a director, you sort of have to. If something isn't perfect, you sort of have to realize the person is trying as hard as possible. And you sort of have to
absolutely.
take that.
Yeah, you have to trust other people. That's the
Right.
thing that I have been learning as a director over the years. Like I've been learning not only how to do better at visual storytelling, but also how to be a people person. Because now I'm not going to take up a lot of time, but for me that was always difficult. And then when I wanted to be a filmmaker, I'm like, oh crap, I have to now become social. Oh crap. But
dang it, social.
Hey, it was tough, and it still can be. But what you learn is that as a director, you have to understand people. You have to understand that people are flawed, that people are imperfect, and that they may never satisfy what you want from them. But that's okay. That's just something I've learned, that you have to be a people person in order to be a director.
Yeah, we had an orientation day with some of the film students, and I got to know a few of them. They all seem pretty solid, but unfortunately, that makes me think I'm not going to really go into directing, because at least it's going to take a while for me to realize if I would want to direct, because that's going to be hard for me, because never before have I been in a position as a director where I wasn't directly looking at the product or was controlling how it goes. I was usually the camera person because it was just a one-man thing, most of my projects. So it'll be interesting to see how that flies, especially on set, or especially having to be the camera person for another guy. So it'll be interesting to sort of live both lives. That's the main thing. Of course, there are other side things. I'd like to learn some editing techniques that would assist making my stuff look more professional. I'd like to take some acting courses, maybe through the theater department. Maybe next year, once I have a little bit less requirement, just to sort of get a feel for what these other people are doing and help them. I want to learn how to write really badly. That is something I need to work on.
It's not easy.
I know. It's okay, quick short story. I've been getting into Max Landis. He's a screenwriter, and he's kind of brilliant. Is that a sort of that's an accurate statement, I would feel. He's a screenwriter. I've been listening to some of his pitches, and I've read some of his scripts, and he's such an intense writer. He writes all the time. It sort of inspired me to sit down and start writing some stuff. The problem is I'm not good at it, at least as far as what I've seen. So screenwriting course is really important. That's a big factor for me. I really want to learn what it's like to write an actual screenplay, and the formatting of it too. But not only that, but actually what goes into a good screenplay. What makes a good screenplay? That's very important also.
It ain't easy.
I know.
I say that again and again. It's just, you have to be ready for people to tear it apart.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do in my films.
I need some serious... I'm really good at giving really critical notes to people about anything. So that's gonna... We'll see how it's... I've got it on the other side before, but, we'll have to see. I'm excited to start writing some stuff and getting some ideas down. It'll be good.
Yeah.
Anyway, film school
Sean,
stories.
what do you think about this?
What?
Sean, what do you think about this?
About what? Just Larry's expectations?
I just wanted you to speak.
Oh, yeah. So, I was listening. I just didn't have much to add. I don't know.
I think I'm pretty solid. I think a lot of people...
they're good expectations to have. They're good goals.
They are. But I do have some advice for you that might help you.
We're going to end with advice.
Yeah.
So let's do some quick stories.
Sean, do you have any film school stories? Because, or college stories, I guess?
College stories. Let's see. Well, this one time I was doing cocaine and... No.
That's a great way to start the story.
1983. I was in Miami, Florida, visiting my cousins. There was a huge sack of cocaine everywhere.
I've not really had a crazy college experience. One thing that it's not really advice as much as like it's going to happen, and it's kind of stories. You're at a film school, Max. You can confirm you're going to come across some characters.
I already
characters
have.
confirmed.
I already
characters
have.
confirmed.
Yeah,
It's been 2 days, and I've already met most of the people on my floor.
It's
crazy.
It's just there's something about the arts that draw a certain type of people, and you're gonna have to be prepared for that. And it's there's the people that are like way too into it. There are the people that try way too hard to be kooky and the artist type. There are the people that are like just so brilliant you can't like understand what I'm trying to do.
But like they don't understand it.
Right.
Oh no, I thought you meant like people who are just so good and they intimidate you, because those are there too. Like people who are actually very good.
Oh well,
and
yeah, totally.
You're really nice people,
Well,
and
I
you
was
just are
kinda
intimidated
hoping
by
I-
them because they're so good.
Oh yeah,
kinda
I'm
I was hoping
talking.
to be
I
that
haven't been
person.
intimidated much in the film school here because everyone's it's weird. Everyone's kind of on the same level here. Like, there's definitely some projects that turn out better than others, but it's been nice that there isn't that one student that's been training for this since like what toddlers age, and so they're like way ahead. But
yeah, that's a great thing about freshman year in college. A lot of us, a lot of these, especially for this filmmaking thing, we're all on the same plane. Most of us have never met, and we sort of there isn't that social hierarchy anymore. At least not within the first couple of months.
If we're talking general college, I'm just going to okay. What we need to do advise. I don't really have any crazy film school stories outside of like I was on a shoot and we couldn't get into the set and it was locked in. We had to call the financial aid office lady to come and unlock it for us because we were filming in the financial aid office. But that was like, it took like 20 minutes. Like, that wasn't a crazy story. I don't have any crazy set stories. I've had like in an acting class.
Wow, Max, jeez.
In an acting class, I was playing a character who was very upset. Just found out that his wife was cheating on him and she hates him and all this. And I was kind of doing some hyperventilating, in character. And it was kind of nearing the end of the scene, nearing the climax of it. And I kind of induced a panic attack in myself during the final performance in front of the class.
Talk about method.
No, seriously. Like, I wrote that in my paper. It's like, I'm not trying to sound pretentious and method, but like that happened. Like, I started freaking out.
That's actually,
and like I was legitimately hyperventilating. And luckily, my friend
Sean, is this on camera? Can I watch this?
No, unfortunately, it's not. But like, it was so funny because
shucks.
In the scene, I'm supposed to freak out, and then the other character comes over and just reassuringly pats me on the back. But I was freaking out, and my friend, Dave, his name was, and he was my roommate too. He graduated early, so he's not here anymore. But he but when he came over and like put his hand on my shoulder, it just felt so like, okay, I needed that.
You were living the moment.
Yeah, I nailed
man.
it. Now, I have no idea if the performance turned out well. I learned that about acting. It can feel right and not work. So I have no idea if what I was doing was good, but I triggered a panic attack. That's probably my favorite story from film school, is that I triggered it.
Can I piggyback off that just a little bit?
Sure.
Sort of an acting story for me. As some of you know, these two specifically, I took part in the school musical during my senior year of college in the spring.
Larry the Nazi.
I sort of kind of played a Nazi.
The hills are alive. Anyway. That was beautiful.
Yeah, anyway.
Just for the record.
Yeah, but I was the villain pretty much. For those of you who have seen The Sound of Music, which was the musical we did, the only character that's pretty much a villain, like the movie, like Nazism is pretty much the villain of that story. But there's one character though, wow, what was my name? Herr Zeller.
Man, you got into that character.
Yeah, I did. I'm not gonna lie, I did. Like one time we had practiced the scene and I had walked off, and one of my friends who was with us goes, "This role is too perfect for you." And I'm just like, wow. I don't know whether or not to say that was a compliment or whether you think I'm actually like evil. So for my audition, I had to do a monologue from this play called Lost in Yonkers, and I watched a little bit from both a film version and I read through the play. And so I was doing my audition and it was going pretty well, and then suddenly there's a moment where I'm trying to wipe my hair and like is it supposed to be like I'm nervous and I'm trying to talk to my kids, quote, and I'm like trying to get something off my chest. So I move my hand up to just sort of look stressed, and my glasses come off with me, and they sort of like fall on the floor. Huh. And I'm thinking to myself, dang it. But then I worked with it though. I was just like, I took a moment to sort of like contemplate my existence for a second. And then I picked up my glasses again and I sat back down and I did one of those like fingers on my face things like, you see?
Nice.
See what happens? And it worked. And then for when I got the details, like the critiques, it was like the moment with your glasses sold it.
And then like, you have to be like, oh yeah, no, that was intentional.
Oh yeah, that was totally intentional. I meant to do that the whole
good at
time.
this.
Yeah, you could ask them out there when I was practicing for them. Like my glasses came off every take. I'm
Yeah.
surprised they're not broken already.
Yeah.
So that was fun. Acting's fun. I'd like to do more of it.
Yes, I have no idea if I'm good, but I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, I've been told I'm decent, but only when I'm playing
Nazis.
an evil Nazi.
Get
So-
typecast as
I'd like to
Nazis.
I'd like to quote Amy Poehler really quick here for a second. The great Amy Poehler, who says, "Actors' job is to make the job look easy, which is why people everywhere think they're good actors when most aren't."
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Wow,
Yeah.
thanks, Max. Thanks,
I'm
Max.
sorry. Listen,
I got you.
Don't question the poll.
Acting is not
don't
easy.
question the poll.
Acting is not easy. I mean, especially like when you think about roles like the Dark Knight, like the Joker. Heath Ledger literally secluded himself in a room for like how long?
It was a while.
Yeah, months, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was kind of like it's dark.
Kind of
like
nuts.
Method gets really dark sometimes.
Yeah. Anyway, Max,
so,
do you have fun
acting.
stories, Max?
No.
Oh my god, guys, come on.
Well, look,
What?
advice
Any
is going to
good
be
college
good. You'll get
stories?
advice for us.
All right, fine.
Yeah. I mean, college. No, I don't go to parties. I mean,
Like,
again,
I
that
already-
might change this year. Probably not, but I might.
I already
You never
have two. I already have 2 or 3 solid stories from the first 2 days.
I'm sure I have one. Like, I'm sure I have a few, but of course, they never show up when you want them to.
Yeah.
So they'll pop up some other time, and I'll tell you off the air at some point, Larry. But right now, no,
okay.
I've just a lot of good times, stressful times, both at the same time,
Yeah.
not at the same time. Yeah.
I remember
Now, let me
Max.
ask, actually, Larry, before we get to advice, I want to ask, are there
Okay.
any movie clubs on your campus?
Movie blubs? Excuse
Movie
me?
clubs.
I heard
Movie
gloves
clubs.
too, by the way.
Nah,
Movie
yeah, I heard
clubs on
blubs.
your campus.
Okay, here's the thing. It's a complicated question for a few reasons.
No, it's not.
one-
Let's not spend too much time on this.
Yeah,
I
but
want-
see,
I'm
I'm
curious,
trying
alright?
to start. I'm trying to get one going.
Nice.
That's the idea. There is not an official one. The film school that I'm at has screenings, but like they're required. Like 6 out of 15 are required, so it's not really a club. Although you can bring your friends if you want. But they're not like modern main. Most of them won't be mainstream. They'll probably complement They said they'll complement the curriculum, which could be anything. So I have a TV. My roommate brought a TV into the dorm, which is really nice. We're gonna get a Chromecast. We're gonna go through my personal collection of movies and have some screenings in the dorm. That's cool. But then the RA was talking to me, and he's like, "Yo, if you want to get some screenings going, like we can like get a huge projector, project on the wall, like have a nice like a campus-wide screening. That'd be cool."
Boy.
So now I'm like, maybe I should talk to like the dean and try to like get an actual, because we have a cinema on campus, Rutgers Cinema. It's only 3 theaters, and right now they are not updated. They have The Gift, No Escape, and Mission Impossible 5, which is like a month old at this
The
point.
gift is good.
I have there's
Oh,
also
is it?
a,
Really?
Yeah, I saw it. It's good.
All right, maybe I'll check it out tonight.
There's also
But-
I'm in the same camp. We have there's a movie theater, like a public movie theater on our campus too. It's just one screen, but it shows all stuff you've probably never heard of. Honestly,
Yeah, but the Max, your movie club shows all that stuff, and I always have said to myself, I'd like to start one. I'd like to get one going because we need to
Do
educate. We need to educate the masses. I want to play movies that are legitimately classic, like movies that are well known, and not like because when you say we're going to air Citizen Kane, everyone does a simultaneous, a grunt because apparently it's normal to hate it.
That's good.
So I would like to like do classic movies that people will enjoy, like
Casablanca.
Like a club about
Casablanca
with the
is a-
essentials, like a club showing
Yeah.
all of the essentials, like
That's
the ones that you're talking
Casablanca.
about all the time.
Casablanca. Honestly, that's
Yeah,
a pretty
okay,
essential.
yeah, Casablanca.
That is,
What-
in my opinion, honestly, I watched it in the film class again just a couple months ago.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the best romance stories
It is.
I've seen in film. And that would be a great, if someone's like, I want a romantic film. Casablanca.
Even though
That
the
for
ending is
sure.
not... Well, it is romantic, though, isn't it? The ending? It's kind of...
Yeah, I guess so. The soft lighting helps quite a bit, and the weird lensing that they do.
Slight
They
out of
soften it
focus.
up.
Whenever there's a profile shot on Ingrid Bergman, it's slightly out of focus.
Whenever there was like a profile shot of an attractive female in a movie for a while, they would do
that's
soft
what they
lighting.
would do, yeah.
Yeah, Hitchcock did that too.
Oh, yeah,
I think
yeah.
he did in North by Northwest a lot. Okay, there's another one. North by Northwest. A classic action spy thriller.
Guys, we should probably move on.
Okay,
Well,
but
I'm
anyway,
proud of you, Larry.
I want to start
going
one.
out there and trying that.
I'm gonna. Plus, it's also good to say hi. I'm to the dean, like, hi. I'm a student in your college. So that'd be good. My friend, see, the digital filmmaking thing is brand new, so my friend suggested I try to become like the student government representative for that division. So I'll consider doing that again. Pioneer / guinea pig. Anyway. Guinea pie pig. I don't know.
No, I like mine
We'll figure
better.
it out. Guinea. Definition: the simultaneous effect of being both a guinea pig and a pioneer.
Yes.
There you go. Anyway, advice.
Yes, okay. Can I start with just college advice?
Sure.
Okay. College advice. Calm down.
Oh.
Here's what happened.
Well, that's the worst piece of advice you can give to anyone at any time. Sean. Come on.
Here's what I mean. Freshman year, at least this happened to me, you get drunk on being alone for the first time. You get drunk on the whole independence. You get drunk on all the brand new classes and all of the people around you of your age and your interests and all that. And in my experience, calm down. I did some stuff that's kind of stupid. I'm not saying like I was drinking or doing drugs. Not like that. I mean like I took it too far. I was way too... what's the ecstatic, but not in the positive way. My freshman year, when I look back, like I was a weird person freshman year because I was like gun ho, but not in the good way. It's good to take advantage of everything. It's good to try to meet new people, but don't go overboard. I don't like it when people like the first week of classes for like 4 semesters in a row, it was freshman year and sophomore year. Like I just be eating with my roommates, and then someone none of us knew would just sit down in order to make friends. They'd sit down with us at meals. Don't be that person.
Well, okay. To be fair, like in theory, that is admirable. In practice,
Wait, don't be the
it's
person
kind
who
of
what?
weird.
Who makes friends?
No, don't be the person
who goes too out of their. Who goes a little too out of their.
You know what? That's better than calm down. Don't force it. You're going to be independent.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand
You're
that.
going to
make new friends,
right.
These people you might need.
Oh my god!
Right. Here's
I don't
the thing.
even have to. I've met a lot of great people. So
Okay,
far,
here's the thing.
and
I
it's
thought
good.
about that. I thought that about every single person in my orientation group. Guess how many of those people I'm still in contact with?
Not many.
0. So, yeah. So,
well, this is not orientation. I'm talking about on my floor.
Still,
like my first year.
Here's what okay. But that's my advice for college in general. You're going to be independent. You're going to make friends. You're going to have fun in the classes. You're going to do all this. So don't force it. Don't be going around meeting every single person you see. Don't be taking 20 classes because, they're all so cool. You'll get to them. And I don't know, just try to stay you. Because when I look back at my freshman year, I didn't feel like me. And it really bothers me looking back. Don't get drunk on it. It's overwhelming, I guess, is my advice is to not let it be overwhelming, to let it just play out. Because you are going to change over the years, obviously. College is awesome. You get to be on your own. You get to be around new things. You become different. And I'm not saying that poetically. You change a little bit. But just don't go overboard, because I did. That's my advice. Sorry, I'll stop. Max, advice.
I understand that. Okay. That's good advice. That's good.
Well, that's college. What about film school, Sean?
Right. Well, film school, relating to the characters, you're just going to have to deal with them. And don't get too intent on, basically just kind of let it be. Like I tried to address a lot of the people that were, like, way too... Pretentious is the word I use, and the word Max hates. So I'm going to pretend like I didn't use the word pretentious, but pretentious. I would try to shut that down. Don't. I just don't think it's worth it. But the biggest piece of advice involving your own work that I found is something that my professors told me right away, and I think it's really good in a lot of scenarios, but not all, of course. The term, I think I've said it on the podcast, killing your babies.
Yes, I probably know what you're talking about.
So apparently that's just me because I told that to Max, I think, and Max, you had no idea what I was talking about.
That's a pretty harsh title.
Yes, but that's
for something that could easily be retitled.
No, I like Killing Your Babies. So the idea is you have this idea that you love so much, it's so perfect, all that you're not willing to let go for the piece as a whole. You know, you have like this one scene that, it's so great. It was like, yeah, but it doesn't help your story. And you have 5 minutes. You got to cut out that little bit. And the story that always...
Actually...
Go ahead.
I have a story now, a really quick story.
Okay, well, I have a story too.
I had a script. I was super confident in it. I was like really proud of it. Went through multiple drafts, submitted it. It was torn apart by a class, and somebody even called it offensive.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So
Lord,
just don't be afraid to kill those babies.
What? So
don't actually kill babies.
Don't be afraid to just start stabbing those babies.
Here's the story that I was going to say for this advice. I was in a screenwriting class, and of course I won't do names, but I was in a screenwriting class, the first screenwriting class. Now I'm in advanced screenwriting. And everyone wrote a short film that was only 5 minutes. And so every class period, I think it was like every other, maybe there were 3 groups. Basically, there were groups, you'd come in, you'd read your screenplay, and you get feedback. And we did like 3 or 4 drafts across the semester, right, that you read aloud to the class and got notes on. And there was this one person in the class that just kept with this one scene. So her story was about a girl and pressured into this college. It was another example of she was writing herself into the story, and it was really awkwardly obvious. So don't do that either, Larry. Don't write your story about you. It's really obvious.
I'll take details about myself. No, I'm not going to put myself.
Right, that's literally the only way to write, I think, is to just take aspects of you and use it. But if you're writing your own like kind of self-serving story, it's not going to work out. But anyway, she was writing the story about a girl pressured into this different college and all that. And there was this scene where she was on this mountain road and this bison herd came by. And the character watches this young bison frolicking around.
Oh my god!
Right, so okay,
I can already tell.
Right. Your response
is this okay to mention on like a podcast?
Yes, because I'm not doing names and I'm not mocking. I'm just pointing out what happened.
All right.
And Larry, your reaction is everyone in the class. Like, come on, it's people either like didn't get like that it was supposed to really be that meaningful.
Guys, it's symbolic,
right? Or it's a little cheesy. Like it just didn't work, and no one liked it, and everyone said that. Everyone agreed. I think it wasn't me the first time that gave that note, but I agreed. You know, the class kind of did like a nod and like, don't do that scene. The second draft, well, it was still there. And I brought up, hey, that scene still isn't quite fitting. And
we all told you it was crap. Why isn't it gone yet?
But here's the thing. The final draft of the film still had it after the entire semester. And everyone agreed it shouldn't be there. Now,
was everything else good? Like, was it?
It was okay, but again, it kind of felt a little self-serving, which was always off. But so the idea of killing your babies is not what some people interpret it at the film school, where they're like, be able to be ready to drop ideas, don't get connected to anything. I cannot communicate how strongly I disagree with the idea that you should be willing to just let go of concepts and move on to the next thing. I think that leads to half-hearted ideas and emotional investment. However, you'll get hung up on the tiny things, and people will say maybe that's not the best, and you should consider. Now, that doesn't mean you should get rid of it. I don't think she should have gotten rid of it automatically. If she really felt strongly, whatever, that's her story. But that's a big part of advice regarding your own work. My professors say it. I agree. And this was an illustration. It was long-winded, sorry. But don't be afraid to let go of the little things. However, don't let that make you lose sight of the whole idea. Like, you have a great story. Because the bison doesn't work, that doesn't mean you have to give up the rest of your story. So
even that scene, the bison scene, if it was perhaps a bit more subtle, if it was reworked,
right?
It could
exactly.
work.
But she never changed it. It was always the
she
same.
Never changed
she didn't get rid of it and try to communicate it differently. It was always the same.
Yeah, so. I've gotten the unfortunate back end of when you don't do that. And it's not fun. And I mean, the project, it was a journalism project. It went well. It was a big hit. Everyone liked it. But then my teacher, really, at this point, was just like, if I can make one suggestion, I think this scene kind of was probably the one thing because it felt a bit overlong. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. It's like, and if you took out this scene, I think everything cohesively would have been better. It's sort of like how Star Wars, people argue that by taking out episode 1, you sort of make the parallels stronger.
You got to be willing to hear people out, I guess.
No, again, that's a whole movie, not really on the same scale. But I understand what you're saying.
So,
Thanks, movies.
Max, do you have advice?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I have another piece, but you should definitely go with some of yours.
When it comes to college, I don't want to say go out and party, but we'll certainly meet people. You know,
one of my regrets is that I didn't take advantage of being in college that much, and I'm trying to my last year more so. Don't
See,
go out
I don't
to
know
the crazy
about
parties.
college. See, I don't know about college parties per se because most of those involve alcohol, and I'm kind of a straight arrow about that kind of stuff.
Me too.
But I've definitely met people. I mean, I've met almost everyone really in my building at this point. I don't. No. I don't know people, but I mean, I made a good first impression. Let's just say that. And so I've met a lot of people in my building. So we've sort of like, how Sean said, don't force it.
Right.
So we had a residence hall meeting.
Yeah, that's an example of forcing it.
No. It wasn't originally meant to be a social thing.
Right, that's how they come across
some
sometimes here at least. Is sometimes
it was
everyone
legitimately,
be friends.
hey guys, here's how you're supposed to live in this residence hall.
Right.
But then we did a little name game, and it started off kind of cheesy, but then we actually started having fun with it. We started like giving these sort of random details we all just sort of talked about ourselves. It was really cool. And that was sort of that was not forcing it. Because believe me, things that happened previously in the day were forcing it.
Yeah, orientation.
There was a
Orientation
throwdown.
is very cheesy.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not just
Things
orientation. It's also there was this throwdown competition where like campuses had to compete in the dumbest games I've ever seen.
Oof.
It was terrible and not really social at all. But anyway, done with the anecdote.
Yeah. So
go on.
Let's see. I'm sorry. I'm going to one up you on this, Sean. Realize there are characters, but get to know these characters. Like they're still good people. They're not like some of them might not be entirely pleasant, but some of them are good people that will stick with you even in like the worst times, more so than some friends. Like the characters are good people, and or like maybe not inherently good, but they deserve to be here, and they deserve to be these characters as much as you deserve to be your own character, I guess. And that's coming from somebody who is described on this campus more than anything else as a character. In fact, even a cartoon character on multiple occasions. So coming from a character, it's let's see. Film school wise, again, don't be the whole Sean thing. I'm going to echo that. Don't be afraid to I can't tell you to get too emotionally invested in your projects because you should
Yes.
like care about these projects, but you also should know that not everything you're going to think of is great. It's one of those things. Don't feel like you're above any position. If you're like offered to be a PA on a student shoot, do not feel like that's, that you're better than that, because a PA is just as important as a director. You gotta remember that. Everybody is important on a set. This is not like, especially a student set where things are going to go wrong, and for the most part, the films are going to suck, but that's just how it is. It's okay. It's okay for films to be bad. You don't have to like think like, oh my God, it's terrible. Like, give people a second chance. If you work with somebody and they make a bad film, do not think that if you work with them again, it's going to be another bad film. Everybody's learning here. With that said, try your best to make good freaking movies, because it's like, again, I'm not saying that like you will or you won't, but it's best that you not like, sorry, I just got a loud noise in my ears. It's best that you not like think that just because somebody is bad at this thing means they're going to be bad at everything, because I will say that's something that happens at my film school. Sometimes people will be like, oh man, this person did bad in this thing, that's why we should never trust them on any set ever again. And it's not fun. Let's see. Don't think that you're better than other people just because you see their films and you're like, oh man, I think I can do better than that. And then you do and you think you're better than that because everybody's on the same page as you. It's just, let's see. Oh, you're gonna like cherish this time that you have, because you're gonna find a lot of free time on your hands, and it's entirely up to you to figure out what you're gonna do with that free time. Some people make films, some people play video games, some people make a web show with their friends. It's all up to you.
Some people edit podcasts.
Yeah. Oh god, I hope that doesn't take away too much from your. And,
it's all right. It's all right.
And like seriously, just be nice to people. Film school's already stressful enough. It's just like I know this is like echoing stuff, but my film school, I love a lot of the people there, but it's not entirely an honest school with a lot of honest and good, like an honest and like very forthright people. Just be nice and be direct, and always just remember that people are people, and they're going to be people. And especially on a film set, tensions are going to run high, and there's going to be a lot of unexpressed anger on sets, and you just got to go with that. You just got to push through to the best of your abilities, especially on student sets. Just come for the best, prepare for the worst when it comes to student sets. I think that's everything. Oh, and get that freaking movie club off the ground because that will help you in like people knowing you.
Man,
I
like,
would
everybody.
love
then I'll
to
be
become
the only.
that guy.
I'll be the only person without running that doesn't I'll be the only one of the three of us that doesn't have a film club. So that's bad. But I will take credit.
And yet you keep making fun of me for it. So really, you don't deserve one, Sean.
No, but I'll be proud of being the only person on the podcast that doesn't always bring up their freaking film club. So I will take
always
that.
bring up. Did I ever
Does
bring
it
up when Larry wasn't here?
always? Oh my God. Let's just put this out of the way. Max doesn't always bring that up as much as you, Sean, don't always bring up Game of Thrones and
but I like being that stereotype. It's fine.
Okay, well, so does Max. So whatever.
Whatever. So I have one more piece, which is kind of more,
please.
I guess edgy is the word. It's not, but that's kind of the vibe. It's a little less what Max is doing with the whole don't worry, be happy. It's a little more serious. It's a little more...
No, you should worry. You're going to worry, but...
Oh, yeah, no, I know. I didn't mean to belittle your advice. It's really good, but this seems slightly more negative is what I'm saying. I'm just kind of prefacing it. You had great advice, Max. That did come across like I was trying to undo your advice. I wasn't. Sorry. My advice is this. You're going to be talking to your professors. They're going to be lecturing, and they're obviously going to be more experienced and more learned and all that good stuff. However, I take everything they say with a grain of salt. And what I mean by that is no one is 100% right. Even the most respected professors or like the best directors or any of that. No one's going to be right all the time. And I've talked to so many people that have totally abandoned ideas because a professor says something about it, where I think it was way better originally, and they were really passionate about it originally, but they write the screenplay, like it was in one of the short films. I was talking to someone, again, I won't do names, but they really loved this ending. And I loved it too. I was so on board with it. But then the professor and a few more people in the class, like 2 or 3, it wasn't as unanimous as the bison scene, were arguing for this like much less, it was less ambiguous. It was a little more like just kind of the obvious ending. And he kind of just gave it up. And that really irked me because they were wrong for the project, in my opinion. And I don't think the status of the professor or the masses undo what I saw as the superior ending. And so every time a professor says, story can never do this, or films can always have to do this, they're usually right. They're usually right. Like, I do not want to undermine what professors are saying. They are usually right. However, I find that a lot of times they're speaking of opinions. And I disagree. Like, they'll talk about how, like, I asked in my advanced scriptwriting class just last week, I said, is it possible for us as a class, instead of just focusing on short or narrative, because we were taking a vote if we were going to do a full feature class or a short class, I said, what if we write a short film, but we work on, like, the structure and, like, the basic plot points of a feature? I thought that was a good compromise. And what the professor said was, no, like, actual good writing of a feature, good storytelling, the outline of the plot means nothing. I'm like, no, that's so crucial to get down. So now I know I strongly disagree with that professor. Don't mindlessly follow what they say. You should always take into account, always have respect for your professors. But I've talked to too many people that are too willing to just give up their own thoughts, their own opinions, because they're outranked, whether it be by other classmates or by professors. Because also, a lot of the rules you hear in year 1, you're going to turn around in year 2 and they're going to say, oh, we just told you that so you wouldn't try anything stupid. Now you're good enough. You can go ahead and do that. So think for yourself, but let that thinking be changed. That's what I would say. Don't blindly follow, because you do have good ideas. Max said, you're going to come with bad ideas. I guess you are. But don't let others tell you that they're bad without your permission. You know what? That's a good way to put it. Listen to what they say,
all right,
and you decide if it's bad after taking that into consideration. They don't get to decide you had a bad idea. Your professors don't. You do. But listen for sure, because it might be bad.
Yeah. And just one last thing, Larry. Remember, we still have a year to go, so we don't know everything. So
that's a good giant asterisk over everything I have said.
It is a really big asterisk.
It's just blocking everything.
Remember to be open to everything and
yes,
do what you want to do, but don't feel pressured to do all the things.
Right. But
because college is one thing, it's defined by by frat parties and football games and like classes and cramming and stuff. You don't that's actually like the worst parts of the college experience. The college experience is so much more than what what pop culture puts down.
Here's what's kind of funny.
This ain't no 22 Jump Street, y'all.
Here's what's kind of funny. When I go to any other college campus, really, in particular U of M, which is the other state university here in Montana, because it's where my sister went, and I was in my senior year of high school, and I was helping her move in. I get nervous just at the campus because I'm so terrified of going to college. What that means is you're not going to have the college experience. You're going to do your own thing. I think it's good to end with some general college advice. Just do your own thing, because I have not had the college experience, and that's fine. So don't feel pressured to do the college experience, because I'm still scared of having it, and I'm a senior. So you're going to be fine doing your thing. Yeah. Don't worry about, I don't know, doing the frat parties or whatever.
Yeah, a common phrase I hear a lot is college is what you make it.
Yep, I was just thinking that.
Pretty on the spot.
And that can be as ambitious or not. I don't like people. I've seen people that kind of being shamed for like not trying all these wild things. And I don't mean parties, but like all these different classes and running around meeting as many people as you can. Don't let that. If you don't want to, if you're more introverted, don't be shamed by it. It's what you make of it can also mean if you want just a quiet 4 years where you learn, you get better, you learn to appreciate what you're interested in more, you make a few friends, you connect with a few professors for the future, you want their advice. That's good. You made great use of your film school years. That kind of loops back to don't push it. So, anyway.
All right. I think we've given all the advice we can. So
yeah.
We should probably get out of here.
This has been long.
It's all very good advice. Thank you. I appreciate it. Absolutely.
Good.
And yeah, here's to 4 years. Hoorah, hoorah, Rutgers rah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need to do the school spirit thing here.
It's better when a crowd does it. Believe me. Anyway, so just one more last comment. Something my director said during orientation today was sort of relates back to what your last piece of advice, Sean. It was we all are learning together, and they're new at this. This is the first time this has ever really happened. Yes, they're filmmakers, but they want our creativity to shine through first and foremost. So they're here to pretty much give us the essentials. What makes up film? And though, of course, film is subjective, after you've done it for a while, you sort of start to get you know the building blocks. So that's really what they're doing. Yep. They're giving us the Legos and some of the instructions. We need to build it. The thing.
An apt metaphor. Good.
Yes. So that is what I hope to achieve. I hope to build the thing. That's pretty much what that's my goal. And you know, if this podcast continues, we'll check back and
this
do
will
some
be
updates.
fun because we're going to be in the professional world in a year. So this podcast, when it evolves,
and
you'll
then
be going to
we can do a leaving college.
Yes. Okay.
Podcast.
Everyone, tune in 4 years.
A little less, maybe.
Yeah, a little less. And we'll talk about how terrifying
We'll start the
it is.
countdown right now. You know how Finding Dory had like a countdown like 2 years before it was us? We'll start the countdown right now.
Yep.
All right.
Huzzah.
So
that'll be our next episode. We're going to take a brief break until then.
We're going to take a small hiatus, and we'll return with that big bang of a return.
Yes.
Anyway, so that's our episode for today. As far as the viewer question...
we didn't really get to talk about like what we think the function of film school is as a whole to like the film industry. Yeah. So maybe ask people that like what's your perception of film school? Because we're two people that have been in it. One person just going in, but I doubt our listeners are film students. I don't think any of them are actually. Let us know what your perception is. I think that's a good question.
From the outside, and of course, for those of you who are college people, advice.
Give Larry college advice.
All of the college advice. Again, just a reminder, Fantasy Movie League Fall is starting up this week. It's going to be a lot of fun. Be sure to join us. It's Oscar season time.
Yes.
We got a lot of contenders coming up, which are going to be a lot of fun to take a look at. So, that is it. Thanks for watching. We appreciate your viewership. Until next time, my name is Larry.
My name is John.
And my name is Max.
Oh, I missed that and. I missed it. I guess I missed it the third time.
And now it's time to go watch a bunch of college movies. Mm-hmm. Where do we start? Animal House, I guess, is on that list. Start. So that's what I'm doing now.
Cool. I gotta go talk to the professor. College things.